Hi, welcome to Gilded Lantern. Today's reading is an energetic collective reading for the collective, wherein we will be focusing on the energies of August and what that month would like to teach us. So I will be pulling cards to see what's up ahead for us for the collective, to see if there are any cautionary tales to keep an eye on, as well as provide words of encouragement for those that need it the most. So now before I begin, I would like to ask of you first to do something. I would like you to relax those shoulders, unclench the jaw, take a deep breath. Inhale and exhale. You don't have to think about anything right now. You don't have to figure anything right away. We're going to let the cards speak for us and sing to us today. All right? What is the energy for August? Okay. Anything more? No. All right. All right. First, I'm going to open up the theme cards. All right. Mindfulness and destiny. Perfect. Given that we're opening up August with Mercury in retrograde, which is retrograding, I believe, back into Cancer. I have to check my astrology for that, but it definitely retrograded first in Leo. So we're definitely called to step into our power here, but at the same time being mindful about it. We all know that Leo season you should be loud and proud, of course, because Leo is a solar zodiac sign. But here we're seeing that you can still step into your power without stepping on a couple of toes. By being mindful on what we say, what we do, even post online. And it feels like, especially here with this destiny card, that a lot of us have been hiding behind armor, walls, or maybe even cages that we ourselves can get ourselves or can get out of. It's giving around about eight of swords kinds of vibes, wherein it is something about our mental state, probably mindsets that are no longer beneficial for us or has kept us trapped in specific in specific situations, like for example the mindset of lack. I know that it is hard, especially in times like this, especially with a really really weird and funky looking economy right now. However, we shouldn't let the people above us dictate what should be, you know, what should happen. Because maybe, just maybe, what I'm getting here, or what I'm sensing here is that for far too long, a lot of us have allowed um, people in power, people in with more money, more, I guess, resources, control our life's destiny by allowing us to be so consumed with things. I guess that's also, despite technology being good in advancing specific things, it does bring its own downsides. So if you are like, well, okay, how about this? I'm going to put myself in as an example. If you're like me, who has been struggling with the mindset of lack for how many years because of specific incidents in your life, traumatic experiences, and you're kind of fed up with it, probably influenced or if not triggered by the recent economic events, world events, sometimes taking small baby steps such as de-influencing yourself from buying that next blind box, for example, or rolling that gotcha game, or even, I don't know, reducing your social media um, apps in the phone, for example, in which I had, I am, actually, I had not yet completely, but I am attempting to reduce my social media footprint by deleting profiles and being selective on what social media platform I could be in. I still maintain specific ones, especially when it involves communication with family and friends, because um, mess- we have to admit messaging apps are very very convenient comparing to just texting them, especially when others are notoriously online and you yourself cannot like deter them away from that behavior because you too have to take care of yourself. So that is one thing, and it doesn't really you don't have to take big steps. You don't even have to do it cold turkey. Sometimes it's one small step each day. It may not sound a lot, but one thing that I realized and have continued to make an example to my friends and to my clients is that the small things stack up. The small things stack up. All right. Looks like we're starting off with a rather interesting August, but let's dive a little bit deeper. Okay? So, okay. I know you all saw this card. So let me try to move things up so you can see all of the cards. I hope you see them. All right. So first and foremost, we have Kenas, which is the torch, Lagos, the water. On at the begin at starting, we're only starting with the runes, but we're already encountering two opposite elements. Lagus, which is water. You can also interpret it as a stream or river. We have Ingus, which is the seed. Wunjo, which is joy. And then Ansus, which is communication with the ancestors. So, what I'm seeing initially here is that there is a lot of creative energy that needs to be released this August. Some of you, because of course Mercury retrograde is happening, some of you are looking for creative avenues to channel that energy. And maybe, just maybe, not a lot, not everybody, but some of you are actually feeling that you should revisit old projects, old old ideas, old ideas, even maybe old ventures. And those are a good thing. What you don't want to do is to be able to revisit exes, um, do new things that you haven't given extreme thought on, or let's say impulsive ideas. Because here's the thing, Ken as a torch may be linked to the primordial fire, and all according to the runes. However, it is also all about creativity, the spark that started life. Think of it as like the Big Bang, but if we're going to like put it in a more human aspect, it's the aha moment. And August seems to be bringing in that. A lot of you, a lot of us actually, are going to be having a lot of aha moments. If you have experienced it as early as late July when Mercury went into retrograde, then that is something that you should like sit on, because even if again even if um, even if that Mercury retrograde is sitting on revisiting and everything, but there are certain things in our life that we have locked away, and so August is asking us to revisit those ideas mindfully. And um, here with with Lagos or water, it's asking us that now that we have the spark that maybe might help us bring us out of that funk that we are in, whether it is the lack of a mindset of lack, or maybe just self abandonment. It wants us to feel it, to let the emotions flow through, let it take its course. To some, this may be triggering. To some, this may include encountering old scenarios, old, I guess, old faces, old groups, old situations. Sometimes it may look like situations that we think are new, but it's actually the old ones packaged differently. Sorry. But that's the thing. We are being asked to let it happen, to ride through it, because there's no use fighting really, really violent rapids. I'm having this mental image of somebody kayaking in a really rapid waters, dangerous waters, wherein if you actually try to fight it instead of letting it flow and carry you through calmer waters up ahead, you may run the situation wherein you might topple yourself over in in that scenario and maybe put yourself into more danger. So definitely, definitely take that experience into mind. Now, given that let's say that you have experienced this, that you have an idea, but then again the universe decides to hit you with a test of the old of I guess a throwback of the past. Now it wants you to ruminate. Given that you are given this opportunity this opportunity to revisit an old idea that you had to I guess uh, put to sleep, stow away, shelve, simply because of these old situations that are being hit to you. The universe is asking, okay, now that I've shown you what were the possible blockages that didn't let the spark work in the first place, what do you want to do? And if you can answer that question, then for sure you must be grasping what kind of seed that the universe is trying to help cultivate. In in Nordic runes, I do believe in Tears Ayat. It's all about seasonal seasons and the harvest. In us, especially in Tears Ayat, I'm not really sure on how to pronounce it, eight or Ayat, but um, his Tears Ayat often speaks about seasons. And right now, this is the perfect season to plant the right seeds, to um, finally entertain that idea, put in that seed that you've always wanted to plant, but couldn't do so because of the previous experiences that you've had. And given that, for this Mercury retrograde, we are being asked to revisit a lot of things, including those ideas that we thought we have abandoned. This is the perfect season to start planning, to start planting whatever whatever idea, mode, method that we want to pursue in order to us to finally get out of our cages, of our armors, of out of our own shadows, so that we could finally be free and be happy with ourselves. So the once you've finally figured out this, happiness is going to follow, to which you are going to probably realize as you go through the journey of rediscovering yourself, rediscovering your passions, rediscovering your path, that the wishes or maybe the prayers that you have done to God or to whoever you prayed to, they've been listening. Oh wow. I am not really sure if you could hear that, but it started raining here right now. Definitely, definitely somebody's praying, and they will be definitely showering you with the right blessings the moment that you start moving all these obstacles away from your life. Because the thing is, these obstacles, may it be situations, old mindsets, oh, oh, Make these situations, old mindsets, and maybe people. Let's not sugarcoat it. People that these people may need to be, in a way, moved on from your life or be removed from your life in order for you to finally realize that what's your worth, technically. And so, just like the lion, just like in the new season, these things have to be taken away in order for you to be able to shine in your own authority, in your own authenticity, in your authentic life. They have been listening. That's the thing. And they want the best for you. But a few things need to be moved a bit in order for you to be able to realize your own self worth, and so you can finally stand on your own two feet. All right? All right. All right. With that being said, how about let's look into a few cautionary tales, possibly cautionary tales. It could be mindsets, people, who knows? We'll see. Let's use an archetype card for this. Okay, what are the cautionary tales that the collective needs to know in order to be able to navigate through all this? All right. Anything else that you want to add? Yes. All right. Thank you. All right. So here are a few quote unquote cautionary tales to keep an eye on. So teacher, Messiah, beggar. So teacher, light attribute, ability to communicate knowledge, experience, skill, or wisdom, shadow attributes, manipulating or abusing students, teaching negative traits, and disruptive skills. It feels like the collective this August is trying, it might be tested, or are being warned about old things that they have learned in their early part of their life. It doesn't have to be a person in education. It could have been your life's earliest mentors and teacher, which is your parents, your family, your sibling, older siblings, in a way. Even the environment that you were in, or it could be a circumstance. So again, it reiterates that August will be throwing some of these old situations back at you, and will be testing that if you have learned anything, or if you have actually picked up on what needs to go, what needs to be left in behind in order for you to be able to move forward. And yeah, in a way, that's one. Another one would be Messiah, light attribute, serving humanity with humility. Shadow attribute, exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. What I'm getting from this is that some, if not all, have this Messiah like, I might savior kind of mentality wherein in order for you, I guess in order for things to happen, or in order for things to move on, so there are people, or maybe it could be you, with a mindset that that you're the only one that can do this. And I guess, or I can sense that the universe is trying to tell you that you can't do this alone, or if there is a person that's trying to be the whole savior, that there is a person in your life that's trying to be or probably has a savior like complex, that you should not relinquish your autonomy, your, I guess, your what's the word that I'm looking for, your integrity, your authority, self authority, I guess, to them, because at the end of the day, it's your life, not theirs. And that if you may have maybe the one with the mindset like this, that there's nothing wrong with serving humanity. There's nothing wrong with that. However, at the end of the day, you also need to learn how to trust others, that you can actually trust them to be able to pick up on other things, because there's probably way too many things in your plate, and you're still, I guess, trust issues, you're working through trust issues, control issues probably, and it's something that you should be working on revisiting. Actually, it could have stemmed from it could be a trauma response, or it could be something that you have picked up from your own family, from your own childhood environment, and it's something that you should work through. Learn to trust others. And finally, cautionary tale number 3 is beggar. Light attributes confronts empowerment at the level of physical survival, awakens the spiritual authority of humility, compassion, and self esteem. Shadow attribute, dependence on others to the exclusion of effort. So it feels, the first thing that I heard here was the mindset of lack. And while I know that everybody right now is at the level of survival, we should also stay mindful, because we're all on the same boat at the end of the day. The last thing that we should do is lash out at everybody. And one thing that is pinging in my mind, it may not be for everyone, but it could be for a select few. But Spirit wants to tell you that please do not wait for a Prince Charming to come, because it believes that you can find happiness through your own strength, through your own authority. Never wait for somebody to save you. Or it could also mean that being dependent on others just so you can survive. And the thing is, again, being mindful once more, that everybody's struggling right now. And as much as we would like to, I guess others would like to extend their charitable efforts, there is a limit to charity. We should also be mindful that we cannot forever rely on others. At some point, we need to also contribute in order for others to feel a little bit of relief, but also to reclaim our own authority. Wow, that's quite heavy. So, given that there is something um, happening, I'm going to pick an oracle card in order for us to be able to close this reading with a bit of a lighter note. The words of encouragement that the collective needs. Come August. Words of encouragement for August. encouragement for others. Mhm. Okay, that one stuck a little bit. Oh, I got that. All right. So I will be reading from the guidebook to help interpret the meaning of these cards. So we have six. Family, we are stronger together, and 20. Reincarnation, which is the forest floor. So we are stronger together. There is power that resides in community. A healthy sense of community is vital for us to flourish to our full potential and to feel safe, supported, and happy. Strengthen your community by spending quality time with those that lift you up. Staying in touch with people that mean a lot to you by putting more effort into plans. Treat your friends to a home cooked dinner or a picnic by the riverside. Help when they need help. Your energy and time will be rewarded. So, there is a bonus. I want you to take note of this journal prompt. So, how can I show up for my community better? How can my community show up better for me? The forest floor will tell you that death is life. For what dies in the forest decomposes and becomes fuel for all living things. In a metaphorical sense, we go through many deaths in our lifetime on Earth. Deaths of identities and versions of ourselves. Have you ever seen an old photo of yourself and thought, I am not this person? Heartbreak is death. Moving houses and countries is death. Changing careers or life paths is a death of the future that could have been. Even an exhale is a death. We inhale and exhale, dancing through life and death. So, what part of you needs to die this time? Let it die, and then rise from the ashes like a phoenix. Use your decay as fertilizer for your sprouts. Oh my god. What have I been telling you, everyone? That is such a beautiful message. All right. So, at the bottom of the deck is autumn, and we see a moth right here. So, everybody, right now, August is a transition for the collective. So, I hope everybody enjoyed that great reading, and I hope everybody enjoyed that reading. And if that resonated, I invite you to save it or return here whenever you need it. Remember this: Gilded Lantern is here when you're ready to reconnect to your own knowing. Alright? Thank you, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye!